South Floating-Fubara, Current Service of Real Estate, Governor, Assistant Kozi Ma Order, District Service of Real Estate, Deputy Governor of Real Estate, King Alfred Peter Speak, Current Service Staff, Your Excellency Senator, former Governor of Real Secretary to the State Government, Dr.
Introduction, but it may not be in proper order. But of course, I'll start by introducing the leader of the Paramount Ruler of Wike. Let's give appreciation. Secretary by Southwest between 1999 partner team. I also like to recognize the Chief Alade Agua.
Delegation, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me first of all thank the Almighty God for this very special day, a day that I would want to describe as a family reunion. The leaders of the old River State, not minding the economic and political separation that we now have and call Bayelsa, sitting in these chambers of River State government with its school members sharing ideas and receiving word of encouragement for the purpose of good governance. I have to say that it's a privilege, and we're happy that it's happening at this particular time of the life of this administration. So let me welcome you and say thank you. I thought I wouldn't have said a few things that my spirit is pushing me to say, but I strongly feel it will be proper for me to set some record straight. There is no problem. Even a husband and wife in the same house, they do have problems. But it is a bad thing when the problem that ought not to be anything becomes something, and in fact gets out of the bedroom to the sitting room and into the compound. That is the case of River State. I'm also happy that you even mentioned issues of, even in the state of having all the powers, you show restraint. And I believe that everyone is alive and has been following the activities of our dear state knows that I have acted as a big brother in the course of this crisis. I have not acted like a young man that should want the house to be destroyed, but I've behaved like a matured young man that I am, because I know that no meaningful thing can be achieved in an atmosphere of crisis. And because our intention for River State is to build on the foundation that are being laid by our past leaders, it would be wrong for me to take the path of crisis. And that is why we're still seeing, recording the development that you're hearing around the river states. There is nothing wrong in one helping anyone, but nobody takes the place of God in any situation. And so long as I'm concerned, God is God. God can even bring your enemy to open a door for you. God can do anything he wants to do when he wants to do it. It is only for us to realize that God will not come down from heaven, but will pass through man or woman to achieve his purpose. So for that reason, when we act as human vessels that God have used, and not seeing yourself as God. I want to say this clearly, that we do appreciate the role our leaders, more especially the middle past governor played, but that is not enough for me to worship a human being. I can't do that. If that is my sin, yeah, let me answer it in the last day in heaven, not on earth. Because I'm not answerable to anybody on earth. On earth is in heaven. But I know that I've always taken the path of peace. I've shown respect. I've subjected myself to every meeting of reconciliation for peace. And what happens? It is each time we come out from one meeting, we are faced with one thunder or lightning. Let me say it here. The young people, those group of men who claim that are assembly members, are not assembly members. They are not existing. I want it to be on record. I accepted that peace accord. I accepted that peace accord to give them a floating. That's the truth. There was nothing in that peace accord that's a constitutional issue. It's a political solution to a problem. And I accepted it because these were people that were eating in my house. These were people that have helped pay their children's school fees when I wasn't even a governor. So what is the thing there? Yeah, we might have a division, but I believe that one day we could also come together. And that was the reason I did it. But I think it's gotten to a time when I need to make a statement on this thing, so that they understand that they're not existing. Their existence is me allowing them to exist. If I de-recognize them, they are nowhere. That's the truth. So, I want you to see the sacrifice I've made in the cause of allowing peace to be in our state. I can say here, with all amount of boldness, I've never called any policeman anywhere to go and harass anybody. I've never gone anywhere to do anything against anybody. But what happens to people that are supporting me? They are being harassed. They are being detained. There is no week that somebody doesn't come here with one letter of invitation for trump up charges and all those things. And in the face of this, you use the word. And why I'm saying this is because of what my senior said here, restrain. I don't think the other party has shown any restraint. I am the one that have shown restraint in the face of this thing. I'm the one that is badly heated, even when I have all the government instrument, to cause disaster. But why would I do it? This is a relationship that you eat together, you drink together. Why would I forget those things? So even when I act knowing fully well that there's a relationship which is bigger and greater than any other thing. Politics will come, politics will go. But what is most important is your relationship, how you're being perceived after power. It doesn't last forever. It's something that stays for a while. It's a transit or whatever. After which it will go. This is not the first time. Today, our father, they say former. Is it not? How many years? He had his time. Maybe at that time people will say, oh, it might be forever. So if you understand that, no matter how you how you look at it, whether one way or the other, it starts and it ends. It teaches you a lesson about life. So I want you to just have this background before I come back to the most important thing that I consider the purpose of this delegation. There is no complete River State without Bayelsa. There is no complete Bayelsa without rivers. We must work together to develop our states. We were separated because of political purposes to expand development, but we need to be united so that the economy of these two states will grow. There is no need for us to have any argument over assets. There's no need for us to have any disagreement over issues of who owns this or who doesn't own that. One way or the other, we are even interrelated. That is the truth. So there's no need for fight. I took the path of going to see my brother for him to understand that the toxic relationship that existed in the past administrations, I don't have the energy for that. I want us to work as brothers. I want us to understand that every development in River State rubs off Bayelsa. The good thing that Bayersas are doing, definitely. Any good development there is also a credit to our state. So for that reason, we had our meeting, and by the special grace of God, we've had a very, very wonderful relationship. He's always there, watching out for me, even in the face of this crisis. Things that my commissioners ought to do when they hide the information from me, he calls me to tell me this. You don't know what I'm going through. I'm working with my own enemies. Imagine where your commissioner, your attorney general will go to sabotage you. It's as bad as that. But they will all get, they will get their reward. Not in next world, in this world. So you see, if I had not gone to reconcile with my brother, I would have been in bigger shit. So I've already started benefiting, reaping the fruits of that relationship, that peaceful relationship. So seeing you here today, coming to assure us of your support as leaders, is unfortunate. Let me also say this. What brought us to this level is we don't have leaders in River State. Let's not pretend. What is happening in River State even happened in Bayelsa. But people could call and say, don't do this. And they said, let's let it go. It was done here. But nobody listened because the leaders have sold their conscience. Because of what? Not even good money. Not good money. If you're doing something because of money, it should be good money. Eh? Me, I want to live here and be that kind of leader that will look at you and tell you the truth. That is what leadership should be. And that is what, when you leave an office, when you are considered an elder statesman, that is the quality of an elder. It's not issue of, let me satisfy her, he's going to give me social contract. No, it's not about contract. It's saving the soul of our state. So I want to thank you. I want to thank everyone. I want to thank our sister state. That thing that we don't have, and you have, which is this leadership. Please, keep it up. Also extend our regards to Wike Clark. When we were in a crisis, he stood by us, shot his usual cannons. Some hit the target while others, you already know. But the most important thing is they were there for us. So we say thank you. Please extend our warm regards to him. Let me close with this. I will continue to do those things that are right to make you people proud. We are going to work for the good of our state, so that when we leave, we can work with our Papa, latest Spiff. He moves along without police. I see him in Spa. That is when you lead with cleanness of heart. You can't please everybody, but when you know you have not deliberately hurt anybody in the course of discharging your duty. I want to lead, and when I leave, I walk like him. Let me thank my people on this other side, my left, for the support. You can see them. These ones are the main, the ones that have, let's say, you know the story. I don't want to go into that. You know the story. They are the main ones that have stood by us, and they are following us to the end of this journey. And every decision that they took in the face of the crisis, today they are saying that, look, this is the right place to be. A wise man once said, when you act in the way and manner that when you're called to defend it, you can stand before people publicly and justify your action. It's not when they call you, there's wala in MMM. So I want to thank you for always being there for us. That decision, God will continue to strengthen you. It's not an easy journey, but God will strengthen you. Let me on this note thank the leader of the delegation again for putting this very special courtesy call, insisting, even when I refused. I'm now seeing the benefit of rubbing minds with your big brothers. And after this meeting, I believe that they also have a better information as they're leaving. So I want to thank you, sir, for your support. Always call on us when you notice anything that we're doing that is going out of the rail. It is your position, and as a government, I can assure you, we will listen because we're a listening government. We are not dictators. We want to lead people, let them, out of our style of leadership, they respect us. We don't want to force them to respect us. When you lead and out of respect, people respect your leadership. They are sincere to you. They look at you and tell you the truth. They don't say it behind you. And it helps you to navigate the course of your administration to success. So thank you for coming. Thank you for assuring us that you will continue to watch our back. It's a big comfort letter that we've gotten from our sister states. And we're going to hold it there. Let me on this note thank every one of you, and may God bless you. Thank you.
On behalf of this delegation, Your Excellency, we want to firstly appreciate you and the good people of this state for the warm welcome and the hospitality that has been accorded us since our arrival this afternoon. This delegation, of which I must say I'm the spokesperson of, since our fathers are here. This delegation comprises of their Royal Majesties and Highnesses and political leaders of Bayelsa State who have joined me today to wish you, your family, your government well, and also to convey to the good people of Rivers State the fraternal greetings and warm felicitations of the leaders and the people of Bayelsa State. Leaders and the people of Bayelsa State. Your Excellency, those of us who are here indeed are a small, very negligible representation of the millions of Bayelsans who are with us in spirit in this courtesy visit. Let me add that even though this delegation is far larger than I initially thought, when I told our leaders that I was coming here, every leader who heard wanted to be part of it. And I know that the organizing team, I flew in from Abuja, but there's always a team on ground that coordinates. I know they had a hectic time trying to reduce the number even to what we already have. Because everybody, Your Excellency, wanted to be here. Everybody who heard wanted to be here to physically solidarize with you, your government, and indeed the good people of this great state. But we are here to bring you also the special fatherly greetings, prayers, and best wishes of our father and national leader, Pa Edwin Clark, OFR CON, as he has always done, and I will be reporting to him when I get back to Abuja about what we have come and what we have seen and what we'll be hearing. Your Excellency, this being the very first formal visit, at least speaking for myself, even though our father is holder of one of the highest titles here, I can't speak for maybe some others, but for majority of us, this is the very first time that we are in this formal way visiting you, since after your very well-deserved elections of you and your deputy and the various victories that followed up to at the victory at the Supreme Court and the electoral challenges, And therefore, it is proper for us also to convey our hearty congratulations to you and your deputy, Professor Ngozi Odo, on your election and various electoral court victories. We must say that we thank God, and most of us thank God, from whom all powers flow, when God designed and orchestrated your emergence as governor and deputy governor at this time in the life of Rivers State. We must also thank the good people of Rivers State for their trust and confidence, for the trust and confidence they have continued to repose in you, and for the love and support that they have shown to your government so far. You can see it from afar. While acknowledging that power comes from above and God gives it to whoever He pleases, at any time He pleases, it's also appropriate at this point to acknowledge and specially thank the human instruments that God used in supporting you and your deputy and our party into office in Rivers State at the time it did, especially the person of your predecessor and my brother, the current Minister of FCT in the government of the Federation. As you all know, Rivers and Bayelsa states are inseparably intertwined historically, culturally, economically, and even politically till date. Some say that these two states are Siamese twins. Others say that these two states are identical twins. But what we know is that this great river state nurtured and gave birth to Bayelsa State through the benevolence of the then head of state, General Sani Abacha, now of blessed memory. And with the concerted patriotic efforts of leaders of the old River State, meaning old Bayelsa and Rivers. That historic and cultural umbilical cord remains sacred and should not be broken. Whatever affects one state invariably and inexorably affects the other. It is that interconnectedness that makes it difficult sometimes to know when you are leaving Bayelsa or Rivers and when you are entering Rivers or Bayelsa, whichever way you are going or entering. The creation of Bayelsa State out of old River State was not and should not be made to see as if it's a severance of the relationship between our people. It is not a wall of Jericho, of division, hatred, and acrimony between our people. But it's a move which, well utilized, will accelerate our development and national stake. As you all know, leaders from the present Bayelsa State, working with their brothers and sisters in the old Eastern region, fought for the creation of this great state, and some even died fighting for that. Those who survived, some of them are here, and it's a fitting tribute to our father, the first military administrator, who is on this entourage. Our fathers, our forebears, our leaders worked together. And with people like him, working together to lay the foundations of this great state a foundation upon which every successive leader and administration has built upon up until now. Most of the leaders here, all of us in Bayelsa, there's hardly anybody you can find in Bayelsa that did not live here or did not work here or was not nurtured here. But most of our people, their families, relations, are still living and doing businesses in this great state under your leadership, Your Excellency. And so to us in Bayelsa, this state is also our own. We're all part of River State. And you are our governor too. In trying to resolve some of the historical, some issues, or legacy contentions and issues between our two states, which some of them were completely unnecessary, unavoidable, and others blown out of proportion. Rivers and Bayelsa states cannot and should not bicker or have a bitter and toxic relationship. And their leaders must always work together to resolve any issues arising from our interconnectedness amicably. We urge you and your brother governor of Bayelsa to continue to work and resolve all these issues for the benefit of our people in a just, brotherly, and rational way, devoid of divisiveness and rancor. Our two states should work together to drive security, integration, stability, and development within the South-South region, and collectively working together to advance our mutual interests in the Nigerian Federation, politically and economically. Where you, our governors, have challenges, you have enough pool of experienced and respected leaders and fathers in both states who can be called upon for advice, support, and guidance. But you did well, you and your government, for that initiative, which I believe you both are working on. Your Excellency, of recent, there has been some disturbing political developments in this great state, which, if not stopped, may destroy or affect the hard work and the foundations that all our leaders and fathers of this great state have laid in terms of building a stable, secure, and prosperous River State. River State, over the years, since its creation, has not only become an oil and gas capital of our region and entire country, it has also, with its size, population, leadership pool, resources, the age of the state itself, the quality of statesmen and leaders, the public servants available, the business leaders, the eminent professionals, a supportive and vibrant citizenry. With all of this, River State has become one of the most respectable and leading states in the Committee of States in Nigeria. This is to the credit of everybody in River State, including all of us in Bayelsa. We are proud of that, and we are envious of that legacy of stability, of peace, and of development. Your Excellency, we may add that this is not the handwork of any one person or one government in particular, but it's an aggregation of the contributions of all the leaders who have served in this great state and of all citizens who have done their best over the last 57 years since the creation of this state in 1967. You in River State sometimes take your peace and stability and the infrastructure, the advanced development, for granted. Airports, seaports, military facilities, all companies here, virtually everybody in Nigeria who has a stake in development of Rivers State. And it's very easy to take all of these for granted. This is something that younger states like Bayelsa and others are toiling to put in place. And I know what, even in a recession, my government did for 8 years. And your brother governor is building on it from where I stopped. Just like what you are doing, building on what you inherited to consolidate development. From a strategic point of view, Rivers State in the Nigerian context is and should be to the South-South, to all of us, what Lagos State is to Nigeria and the Southwest. This is only possible, Your Excellency, with security and stable leadership and the support of the citizenry in the state. The political events in the last few months have threatened, like I said, to wipe away the gains. And this must be halted, and sacrifices must be made in that regard. This delegation, in that context, would like to thank and appreciate the interventions of Mr. President. And we thank him for his intervention and efforts to bring about stability and to support the existing development and the ongoing efforts at development and accelerated prosperity. We also appreciate the efforts of all leaders and fathers who have individually and collectively tried to resolve the political issues in the state, privately and publicly, some of them in ways we do not even know. We thank them because that's the right thing to do. We want to thank the people of this state for keeping to their true nature as very peaceful people. This development, even lesser developments in other states, could have set a whole state on fire. But with your calm demeanor and your purposeful leadership, and with the support of the citizenry, and with the restraint that both you and your predecessor have shown, this state, even as we witness today, continues to be peaceful. And we pray it should be so forever. Your Excellency will agree that no true brother or even a good neighbor can stay unconcerned when the house of a brother or a neighbor is on fire or has issues. Even if there is a flame, small flame, a neighbor or a good brother should be concerned. We have come here as your brothers and as good neighbors also, but also in our right as Rivers people ourselves, because this state is our mother state. And we are here to show support and solidarity with you, your government, and most importantly, solidarize with the good people of this state. We have also come with a message, Your Excellency, of peace and reconciliation, of forgiveness, unity, mutual respect, political maturity, and tolerance by all. And it is on this note that we would like to call on all leaders to continue to support the governor to succeed in his assignment as governor by providing good leadership to the entire people of the state. We also want to ask everyone to continue to support the minister to succeed in his federal assignment, an assignment he has been given as a minister of the Federation in Abuja. This is not the time for leaders in this state or others to engage in blame games, name-calling, acrimony, and taking sides. We know that there is the temptation or tendency to exploit the current situation. This is a time for all people in Rivers State, and leaders especially, to unite behind the governor for peace and to work towards resolution of all issues. And we thank all those who have been intervening, and we urge them not to stop. And if at any time the support and the intervention or advice of anybody in Bayelsa is needed, please feel free to call on us and we'll be part of the resolution. We'll be part of the solution and not to be a part of the problem. It's on this note, Your Excellency, all the fathers and the leaders here representing the millions back at home and across the world are here, joining us in solidarity with you and the government. And we commend your people-oriented developmental programs and projects, some of which we see and read about. And we urge you to keep that focus. Focus on investing in people. Focus on uniting the state. Focus on building bridges of understanding. Focus on what you are doing, showing tolerance and restraint. Because power without restraint is one of the most dangerous things. But you have restraint. Continue to show that. And as you do so, we believe that with the prayers of everyone else, it will be well with you and it will be well with this great state. May God continue to bless you, your family, your government. May God bless the great people of Rivers State. And may God continue to bless our two states and our people. In Jesus' name. Thank you for
May I have your attention? Please, I would like to respectfully ask them all or turn them off. Thank you. May I respectfully request that we turn off our mobile phones.